Empire Total War with Darth Mod. And despite the game's many issues, it's still one of my favorite Total War games that has given me so much fun through the years. The opportunity to take charge of the Swedish Karelians myself and rewrite history in a very interesting historical era does indeed still bring a smile to my face. But this is not a video about what I like or dislike about Empire, but to discuss a few things that I would like to see in an Empire 2 Total War game. Hello guys and welcome to another video on my channel. This is Total War. Firstly, I think we should discuss in which era should this game take place. I have seen a lot of different suggestions within the community on which era that people would like to see here, basically spanning from the 30 Years' War to World War I, with several different variations on the starting year and end year. Even though I think it would be really cool with the Total War game casting World War I also believe it would be a hard thing to pull off in a way that makes me feel like I'm reliving, or maybe visiting is a better word to describe it, this particular conflict. Anyway, that is another topic, and regardless, I just don't see it happening anytime soon or in a possible Empire 2 game. With 4 turns a year, a timeline that exceeds 100 years doesn't seem like a reasonable option. I mean, I think that around 200 turns is a max number for me in a playthrough, so I would basically like to see Empire 2 take place anywhere between 1618 with the start of the 30 Years' War and 1880, ending with a scramble for Africa. Honestly, anywhere within that time frame would make me excited. And whichever they would go for, the possibilities of DLC content are many to say the least. But I guess if that I would have to choose here. Starting the game in the year of 1756 with the 7 Years' War working as a prelude to the American Revolution, continuing with the events around the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars. That's something that would be awesome in my opinion, and also puts us around the 200 turns mark for a base game. A new campaign map. I cannot make this video without addressing the campaign map. I still to this day love the grand feel you get from looking around the campaign map in Empire compared to other Total War titles, even though Empire has significantly less regions than Attila and Rome 2 for example. But now not being tied by the same boundaries, we now see with Immortal Empires and Warhammer 3 a Total War game casting over 500 settlements. So in Empire 2, France could now significantly expand its numbers. Jokes aside, this brings me to my point. I want an Empire 2 would need more regions, as well as expanding with settlements on other continents and not only as trading slots. How this should look like, I'm not completely sure to be honest here. Something similar to the map in EU4 would be really awesome, but I just don't see it as a realistic one for various reasons. But who knows? Tell me what you think. I do think it's worth pointing out that it's not only about bringing up the numbers. Equally important is the execution of the campaign map and its reflection of various present geographical factors having an impact on decision making and as where to attack, defend, march, and so on. I would also like to see a revamp for the economy system, or maybe tweak I should say. In my opinion, the economy system in Empire is quite good, and I wouldn't make too many changes to its model. But I do want the economy system to integrate resources much more. Working as an inspiration here, the resource economy in Troy was a great addition to the series in my opinion, as you are dependent on different resources to build specific buildings or recruit certain troops. So now certain regions became much more valuable for you to conquer depending on your current situation and so on. So I would really like to see the resources playing a greater role here. For example, in order to produce cannons, it should not only cost you money for the labor, but also an amount of iron because of the materials needed. This would give the gameplay another layer and could make things really interesting, as some countries could really enjoy those available mines in the north, while others would be entirely dependent on trade to get the iron needed. Alright, so the fourth point on my list here is the population mechanic, and this basically ties on into my previous one. I would really like to see a more fleshed out population mechanic. Firstly, I think there should be individual population groups for each regions and not only be represented as various religions present, for example. Secondly, and more importantly, the amount of population should also have an impact on the amount of tax collected, affecting your economy, as well as manpower available for recruitment. So the numbers of soldiers recruited should be taken from the population in the region where they are being recruited, which also would affect the amount of tax collected because of the negative impact on population in the area. This would give you more incentive to keep your men alive and fighting more effectively, as well as choosing when and where to go to war more carefully, as constantly recruiting more men would not only water out your tax income over time, but also not simply be possible due to the limitations within the population. So with this, we could basically say goodbye to stack spamming. Alright guys, these were the main points I wanted to share with you in today's video. And there are of course more things I would like to see in Empire 2. One obvious thing would be a more improved AI, I think that's an obvious one, but other things like improved collision, better battle animations, improved sound design during the battles, the war awareness that was introduced in the Age of Charlemagne DLC for Attila, a rework for how the Indian factions function, but the main points mentioned was the ones I wanted to share with you today. And I guess they are pretty much applicable to any other Total War game that we would see in the future. What would you like to see in Empire 2? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Total War content. Thanks so much for watching, see you in the next one.